Hi, this is Gloria, your life coach. Welcome to another episode of Life's a Shuffle.
Hi, guys. It's Ron Johnson, your life coach, leadership coach, motivational speaker, and health coach. And welcome to another episode of Life's a Shuffle. So, today we have a topic that's probably one that's, I don't know, woo woo, or one that many people don't understand, but it's really called this reality versus subjectivity. And I'll say it again, reality versus subjectivity. When you think about reality, what comes to your mind is what you think to be real for yourself, right? It can be a situation, it can be your experience, it can be a person's actual past experience. So if someone told you an experience about something, that becomes your reality too, because someone has told you. So it be passed through that way. But when we really think about it, what is reality and what is subjectivity? Is reality based upon what I have to experience? Is it based on my past? Is it based on what someone told me? Or could it just be in a state of what the universal reality is? What do you think about that, Gloria?
Good question on this. So, when I think about reality, I think about something that exists, that it is, and it's actual that it's there and it happens or it's happening. And then subjectivity is more of a personal experience. Um, Maybe more of like an opinion, feelings instead, from an outside influence.
Hmm. That could be another one too.
Yeah.
So here's a kind of definition that I kind of saw reality is. You know, anything in reality is subject to what we think is reality for ourselves. Okay, so reality is the sum of all that is real or existent within a system as opposed to that which is only imaginary. The term is also used to refer to the ontological status of things, indicating their existence. In physical terms, reality is the totality of a system. So reality is there's up and there's down. But in your life, what is really reality? So how people say, "Oh, I got karma." Is karma really reality, or is it really just based upon circumstances that happened years ago that caused the state in front of you to happen? When we think about subjectivity is the quality of being based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. So subjectivity really boils down to what you think is real for you. I give an easy example. There's a lot of food out there. I'm not that well versed in food, okay? I stick to the basics. I love pizza. I love my meal prep, chicken, rice, spinach. I love my hot dogs. I love my burgers. I love my french fries. Have I tried other food? Yes, but all it takes me to do is try it once, and my opinion is I don't like it. So if it comes to trying, let's say, Indian food, I'm not that well versed in that because for me, it's obviously tastes good for some, but I'm not used to eating it. For me, my reality is I just don't like it, even though I've tried it. So it becomes a subjectivity is I don't like Indian food because I've tried it. Now, I'm not trying to say nothing to those people out there that are Indian love the food. I'm just saying I've tried it. It didn't work well for me, but I like to stick to the basics, right? Like I said before, pizza, burgers, fries, things that make me feel really, really good. And that's what our subjectivity is. It's based upon personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. And if we know this, everybody has an opinion about something, and everybody's opinion thinks is real for them. So if I have an opinion about food, someone else may have a different opinion about food, but neither person is right or neither person is wrong. And that's the funny thing. Someone may say, hey, it's great. Someone say, hey, it's wrong. Neither one person's right or wrong. And that's where subjectivity comes in to reality is that we always want to subject our own personal feelings and opinions about something, not what the system of the universe deems to be reality. So I
Hmm.
want you, Gloria, if you
Hmm.
can, explain to our audience what do you mean by universe? I always say that all the time.
Ugh, that's a good question. I wanted to actually, before you ask that question, I wanted to give an example about subjectivity that was that was had been in my mind before we started this podcast.
Okay,
Uh, can I
let's hear
talk
it.
about it? Okay, so because I think this one's a really good one. When you talked about subjectivity, um, I was thinking about this. So, what it is when one perceives or experience is what is believed to be real, right?
Hmm.
So, one really good example I thought of was God.
Hmm.
So no one has been able to prove whether or not God exists as an actuality,
Hmm.
but God is reality to billions of people, right?
Hmm.
So they pretty much live their lives according to the way they believe God wants them to live.
Correct.
And so I can say that I am one of those billions of people, So as far as living their lives according to the way they believe God wants them to live, could be attending religious ceremonies to praise and honor God. And then they instill these beliefs in their children to pass on to the future, worshiper. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I just thought this would have been a good example for subjectivity because it's what you perceive to believe is real.
Yeah, based on your feelings and your experience. So the
Yeah.
question then being is, so we talk about God, okay?
hmm
So first is do you think God is around us or within us and around us?
So for me personally, is within us.
Okay. So that is true for you. The truth is God is within us and all around us. So when I say true, it's True for you. So you believe God is within me. When I say truth, which is universal, which is a universal law, spirituality, God is in us and also around us. See, when you think about God, you really have to think about spirituality, right? God is not someone that's tangible. We can't shake hands with God. Now, if you pray about it, yes, you can, and that happens. And there's a lot of events. There's Krishna, there's Jesus Christ, but everybody has a form. Krishna, Buddha, sorry, Krishna, Hindu. Let's say the sage, you got the Buddha, and you got Jesus Christ, right? All of them are a form of spirituality. When you break down spirituality out of those four, Jesus Christ, Krishna, the sage, Buddha, it then breaks down to obviously different religion organizations, right? So Christianity can have what is it, Baptist, what is it, Mormon. I mean,
hmm
it list can go on and on, right? So the funny is that when you think about spirituality, it's congruent in higher energy levels. When you break down each individual spirituality, broken down, okay, each religion then says what is right, what is wrong. If you don't go to church, you don't believe in God, what is going to happen? I go to hell. Is that really true for you or universal truth? Because every religion, unfortunately, is has to be so. God itself, religion, doctrine is been prescribed by man, meaning man has basically described what is right, what is wrong. But each religion itself can have a different variety of what's right, what's wrong. Right? Certain religions,
hmm
let's say Muslim, they believe in prayer, right? They pray when the sun goes down, the sun's up. They have fasting, right? Christianity doesn't have that. So spirituality, namely those, are 100% perfect. When you break it down by religions and organizations, that's when it starts being all divided up. And that relies, well, what's the problem? So what universally true, back to your question, is does God exist? And God is truth, is within us and all around us. Most people think God is only around us. No, it's both in us and all around us. That's the universal truth. But back to your comment about subjectivity. Subjectivity is what you feel be real. So how some people may say I don't believe in God, right?
hmm
And how you say I believe in God. So who's right and who's wrong?
Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's what you believe.
Would you believe it true for you.
Mhm.
But the caveat to that is if you ask the person, they don't believe in God, they're atheist, which is if whatever you decide to do is your own opinion, why don't they believe in God? And most people will say, well, with God, why does all this death happen? It's not God that's causing all the death to happen, it's man. If people really follow spiritual principles or religious principles as they are from Jesus Christ, Buddha, or Krishna, and if you look at it, they don't have all this killing. They don't have all this mass slaughter. They don't have all this war. They don't have famine. They really just have one unity. It's man what breaks it down, what causes all this destruction. And man wants freedom to thought, freedom to feel. Man wants a consciousness. Man wants a mind. Man wants a body, right? So
Mhm.
let's think about that for a second.
Yep. So then now let's go back to your question about the universe.
Yes.
And you said, what is the universe?
Tell our listeners, what does universe mean?
Again, it depends on how you look at things. So universe could be everything, everything in a whole, everything that you can touch, feel, sense, everything around you.
So when it comes down to the universe, there's a universal law, and the universe is obviously when we think of a universe, but universal laws are gravity. Universal law, everything has an up, everything has a down. Universal law is consciousness. There's certain things in the law we can't change, right? So when it comes to reality and subjectivity, reality is beyond our scope of what we can deem tangible and real. So my computer in front of me, my iMac, is tangible and real. I can feel it, I can touch it, I can see it. When it comes to universal law and reality, it's things outside our realm and our scope, but they do exist. They are there for a reason to help guide us as a human race and humanity to make sure we follow certain rules. Spirituality, make sure we're there to follow love, compassion, help for another brother, be who whatever it is, help for people. And at the same time, make sure we don't have greed, selfishness, lack, apathy, lust, desires, and wants. Those are things that are not universal. So universal does not have anything to do with wants, desires, needs, ambition. Universal is love, compassion, things that really help the whole, not this individual people. That's the universal law. And what happens is that when you break those principles of the universal law, what really starts happening is that you face a lot of frustration, a lot of animosity, upset. Can't believe this is happening to me. Let's take a perfect example. You get that wealthy guy. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He can buy the lavish homes and lavish cars and go on exquisite vacations, private jets, and whatever you want to think. And people want those, right? They look at that guy and says, "You know what? I should have that life." But you're not realizing what you have to give up in order to obtain that life. Maybe he has had poor relationships with people. He can't communicate. Maybe he's been divorced maybe 5 times. Maybe he's scared to death. People want to take his money away from him. Maybe he has kissed a lot of butt because he wants to make sure everybody likes him. You know, those are not universal things. But universal things are things that don't come out of that desire to be rich with 100 million, hundreds and millions of dollars. Well, if you notice, more people get joy out of giving and showing love than they do by receiving, and that is a universal principle. More people, I get love when I give. I get love when I give my time and I help somebody else out, or I was able to make someone change their body. That's where I get the best love from. That's a universal law.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe subjectivity and reality can contradict each other?
Yes, 100% sure. So, old saying goes, if I can see it, I can believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and don't believe things until become real, tangible. I can touch, I can see, I can smell. And that's what lies the conflict in both. A lot of times, most things that we only want it out of a want and it become a subjectivity. I have to see it to believe it, I can feel it. If we try to ask someone to believe outside a subject, which is real, what they can see, what they can touch, into a different realm reality, then becomes a conflict because they can't see it. So if I can't see it, I can't believe it. It doesn't exist. It's not there. Many people don't believe God exists. They say, well, God doesn't exist because they can't see, they can't touch, they can't smell because of the thing that been taught that seeing is believing. So of course it can cause major conflicts.
Hmm. And it might just be in, it can just be seen in different perspectives.
Exactly. So you got to look at another thing called objective reality.
Mm.
So objective reality is this: the quality of existing in someone's mind rather than the external world. So I deem what I think is real for me, not what's universally real.
Um, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about your eyes, right? So this it's just an example. So it's the way you're looking at this is very similar to the way you view the world through your left eye and your right eye. So both sees every scene from different perspectives, but you're looking at the same thing,
Hmm.
but in different perspectives. So can you would you know if you're living in a subjectivity or reality?
Personally, overall,
You can answer for both, either personally.
this is how I answer the question. We live in a subjective world. As time goes along, and I read more of these books on psychologists and all this stuff, and realize there's more research have been done that I want to live in an objective world, and I want to live in a universal reality of the world. So while the masses want to live in a subjective world based upon or influenced by personal feelings, taste, and opinion, I want to live in another world where people are from things outside the realm, which is love, compassion. You know, things happen not because of karma, things happen because of a set of circumstances you have done the rest of your life, right? You always have that person that says, "Man, it's always happening to me. This is always I can't believe it's always happening to me." No, really, it's a set of circumstances that happened in your past that are not caught up with you now. No difference than time. Okay, time does not exist. It only exists in the subjective world, not the objective world. So the universe does not know time. Only subjective human beings have a thing for time. So if I had the ability to live in a place where I'm not guided by feelings of greed, feelings of lust, feelings of desire, but feelings of hope, feelings of love, compassion, things are achievable with my mind or my subconscious mind, conscious mind, I would live in that world, in a subjective world. Because in a subjective world, you always are going left, going right, going up and down based upon influences. As simple as today's Sunday, I feel good. Tomorrow it's going to rain, I feel bad. Your body is constantly going up and down, and you
Hmm.
can't deem in a subjective world what is false from reality.
Now, that's your personal opinion,
Correct.
correct? Okay. So, how about, let's say, those who, may have a different opinion on this and they don't know if they're living on, which one they're living on, either subjectivity or reality. Or how about try to live in alignment with both possibilities? I don't see why not. I mean, viewing your decisions in life through both lenses, and just not limiting yourself to one perspective or the other, and then maybe learn to integrate both.
That's the key right there. You just said it. Not living in a perspective. See, we all, our lives are driven by, I would call the software now. I learned that term from reading my books. So we don't know our life when we're born, but over years, 10, 15, 20 years, we get uploaded software all the time, right? So the person you were 10 years ago, obviously not the person you are today, right? We always hear that. And it's because every time we turn around, new experiences in our life are being uploaded as I call software into our body to deem to what we want to do, what is real and what is not real. And we can live in both a reality and subjectivity. The difference is what's controlling me more than the other. If I'm led my life by only subjectivity, I will only see the perspective and the filter of subjective world. If I deem I'm going to see things as not there is no right, there's no wrong, there is always an opinion based upon a different perspective, and I'm open to listen to that, then I live in more of an objective world versus a subjective world. And I'd be more of a reality because the reality of everything is that nobody's opinion is right or wrong.
Hmm.
Everybody's opinion is right or wrong based upon their software, their experiences, and what they deem based upon their value system is right or wrong for them. Universally, right and wrong has no concept. It does not exist. Neither does time, neither does opinions. Opinions are only personal, which is a subjective world. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
So
Yep.
I mean, I'm quite sure for most people are going to listen to this, probably say, wow, man, this doesn't make sense. But do some research, look it up. I mean, it does exist. And I will always pick up a book. There's a book that's out there, Think and Grow Rich. Okay. When I first read that book, I'm thinking Grow Rich, maybe I'm going to learn some tools and techniques how to think rich or how to be rich. I'm gonna invest in 2 homes and be a billionaire in 2 weeks. You always see those commercials out there. Invest $500 and become $10,000 a month. Are you serious? I see them all the time in the fitness industry. You see them on Facebook, especially. In 30 days, go from making $2,000 a month membership to 100 grand a month membership. Okay, that doesn't exist. So let me tell you this. So Think Grow Rich was a book about what they don't go in depth of enough, but about consciousness. Visualization thing. So most people say see it and to believe it. No, you got to believe it to see it. So that's objectivity. I'm going to believe it first, then I will see it. Now I have to see it to believe it. That's the main difference between just objective world and reality and subjective world. So in the book Think and Grow Rich is really about getting your mind to think outside what you think you have to follow, right? There's a choice in life. There's always full of choices. There's no right or wrong or indifference. But if we always deem and guide life by this is right, this is wrong, this is someone's opinion, because someone's opinion, if you notice, and someone keeps listening to someone's opinion, it starts to guide your life. If you don't listen to someone's opinion, you can probably guide your life a lot better because their opinion is based upon their subjects and their objects and reality, whatever they think is real or right or wrong for themselves. You can't be right or
Hmm.
wrong for you itself.
Yeah.
Continue.
And what's reality to you is just to you.
It's just to you.
Yeah.
So I hope, guys, that makes sense out there. If it doesn't make sense, you always comment. I will leave a comment because that's really what we need to live in a more non-judgment. I think our podcast with non-judgment, more curiosity. More curiosity comes from the deep root of consciousness and deep root of being open to different perspectives. Curiosity is the key here. So as always, guys, this is Ron Johnson, your life and leadership coach, motivation coach, and fitness coach. You can always find me on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also Instagram, Ron Johnson, life coach.
And this is Gloria, your life coach. You can find me on my Instagram, Gloria Life Coach, or my information is on www.glorialifecoaching.com. And again, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Life's a Shuffle.